This is my wife, Amy. She's a normie, not a gamer, but she's a good sport. So when I asked her to play Expedition 33 for a week, while I sat there taking notes and offering no help whatsoever, she was like, okay. What I didn't expect is that she would play weird, sometimes making the game a lot harder than it needed to be, but often making brilliant observations that I myself had never noticed, all the while getting more and more invested in the story of this world, which will lead us to a very emotional climax.
The suspense doesn't die. No.
We start by putting the game on normal difficulty. I was excited to see her try this because I did my own playthrough on normal, and there were some challenging combat moments, which you don't usually see on normal difficulty. We have the opening cutscene where Amy says, "What's with the 34?" And I tell her, "Oh, by the way, this game is called Expedition 33. Then we meet Gustav and Mael. After the cutscene, I can tell the hooks are already in because she says, "Who's Sophie? What's the expedition? What happened to this place? Oh my goodness, I need to know." This is like a movie and I love it. She grabs the flower and says, "Oh, this game looks nice. Better than Witcher 3. Ooh, that crushes my Geralt-shaped balls because I love The Witcher. But having played it again recently, for me the thing that aged the worst was easily the textures. It's a fair comment from Amy because this game is eye-popping and mouth-watering levels of gorgeous. We follow Mael along the rooftops, and when they stop for a chat, the first thing Amy notices is that Gustav's hand is clipping inside his jacket. I'm so happy she said this because I also have a debilitating sensitivity to objects clipping into other objects. It ruins games for me. I wish it didn't. I hate that about myself, but I've never mentioned any of this to Amy. So the fact that she also had the exact same feeling, that this clipping kind of pulled her out of the moment, blew my mind. She said, "With the hand doing that, he just looks like a hologram of himself." Then Mael offers a quick duel to ease Gustav's nerves. Here we go, because the tutorial is make or break for Amy. She often misses at least one major mechanic somewhere. Sometimes it's the game's fault for not explaining it well, and sometimes it's her fault for not reading everything carefully. I wondered if the same would hold true for E33. The game then explains the battle wheel, the timeline, the base attack, target selection, the enemy's turn, dodging, skills. And then by the time we reach Gustav's overcharge, Amy is overwhelmed. Here's what she said.
There's so many things, so many words that I don't understand, but they're using those words to try and get me to understand the words that I don't understand. And I'm trying really hard to soak it all in. It's just like learning a new board game. Is this like a board game on TV? Because I don't know, it seems like you take a turn, I take a turn, you take a turn, kind of thing. Charge up his overcharge. What the heck is overcharge?
I feel bad because she was trying her absolute hardest to understand everything as she went. But by the way, her board game analogy was pretty accurate and insightful, I think. The tutorial continues though. Next up is QTE, and there's so much assumed knowledge in this moment that the game doesn't even say this means QuickTime event. And this is the really important mechanic that Amy completely misses. The game does a decent job at explaining what it is, but doesn't force her to get it right and prove that she understood. I just don't think she realizes this big X is the thing. I know there's a small X in the text, and the big X is nearby, but she wasn't able to connect the two. As soon as the prompt disappears, you can see that Amy fails to press X for the second QTE and doesn't attempt to press it for the rest of the duel. The tutorial's not done though. The next pop-up is about parry, then counter, which is a subset of parry, then the overcharge meter is full, so it explains that, but Amy's already overwhelmed, so doesn't really get it. She does get the win though, and when the victory screen pops up, she sees that she killed Mael. Her normie brain kicks in, and Amy asks, how is she gonna lead me now that she's dead? That seems pointless. Amy thought she literally just killed her, which is the cutest thing I've ever heard. Immediately, we see that Mael is alive, and Amy says, oh, she's not dead. And she seems pretty chirpy, actually. She's not even hurt. Didn't I just blow her up with lightning? I don't get it. Was that fight in VR or something? That is such a great question. It is a steaming pile of narrative dissonance that we just had a brutal fight to the death with Mael, and 1 second later, she's fine. I don't even have a good explanation for that, to be honest. Amy's right. The normies remain undefeated. Just quickly, I don't usually talk about this, but when I started making YouTube videos 11 years ago, I had zero qualifications. I was a high school dropout playing copious amounts of games who just Googled how to make videos. I'm still completely self-taught, but honestly, I could have saved so much time and stress if I had done some kind of editing bootcamp. The only thing I did have was the feeling that this was something I actually cared about, and it turns out with enough passion, it didn't matter if I had a degree. What did matter is actually getting started. That's why I love what Triple 10, the sponsor of today's video, is doing. It's a platform that helps people switch into tech without needing prior experience or a fancy background. 82% of their grads get hired within 6 months of completing the program. That's like most of the grads, you know what I mean? But I get it, you're busy grinding relevant AAA game in current year. Well, don't worry, they have flexible learning schedules tailored for goblins just like you. If you don't get the job you trained for after 10 months, they will literally give you your money back. That's how arrogant these guys are. It's unbelievable. And if you're not into coding, just take a look at the design course instead. Listen, it's time to start doing something you actually like. And Triple Tense courses start from $200 per month, so click the link in the description or scan this QR code to learn more. Then we reach Sophie with Gustav, and Amy's immersion is ruined again. Right as he's handing her the rose, she notices the hand is not really holding the flower.
His hand is not holding that rose.
That's for your,
Look at him.
if there's room.
That's so stupid.
Amy might be more unhinged than me when it comes to seeing minor clipping. I can't believe how sensitive she is. It's interesting because in her mind, she's comparing this to a Netflix show. So anything slightly wonky that most gamers would overlook sticks out to her like a sore dildo. It's an insane standard to hold a game to, obviously, but that's her main point of reference. And also a huge compliment to E33 that in her mind, it's an interactive Netflix show. Despite the clipping, Amy was really enjoying the spark of romance between Sophie and Gustav.
Still can't finish your sentences, can you?
That hasn't changed.
I missed that.
This is a bit cute.
Then Amy was shocked to all of a sudden be playing as Sophie. Right away, she gets a prompt that says press L3 to change characters during exploration. This doesn't affect battles, except it disappears too fast for her to read the second half. After spamming L3 a few times, Amy asked, why can I do this? She found this mechanic very confusing. It is kind of weird that you were one character and then suddenly you're a different character after only like 10 minutes of playtime. Then Amy said, well, I don't know who I should be now. She thinks it matters who she is because she didn't get to read the second half of the prompt that said it doesn't really matter.
I'm not sure who I should be. To be honest, I don't like the rando character swap all of a sudden, because it's like I was a person and then all of a sudden I'm not the person anymore. Does anyone like that? Not enough people to wear them. Why are people wearing flowers? There's certainly a good amount of mystery going on. I like mystery.
Despite her minor criticism, she's loving the story and world building, which you do love to see.
I got something shiny. Is it a treat? I like treats, yes. But this doesn't have so many treats. That's a bit sad.
This stunned me. After only a few minutes with the game, Amy had noticed the loot is different in E33 compared to Witcher or Cyberpunk. In those games, it's more of a maximal approach, where every room has dozens of lootable objects scattered around, compared to a game like Elden Ring, which takes a minimal approach, where there's only one lootable item in an area usually. Amy clocked that E33 has minimal loot, which I thought was amazing. Then she approaches the flower lady as Gustav, only to immediately be switched characters against her will in the cutscene. She said, great, now I'm Sophie again. As she continues walking around, Amy commented that, something happens at 33 and it doesn't sound good.
He's just following weirdly. Hello. Hello. It's a bit sweet.
It's funny that Amy thinks Gustav following is a sweet gesture, but actually that's just how games work when you run around as a team. Next up is a battle to inspire the painter Nicholas. I'm so glad Amy found this because it's actually more of a secret second tutorial. It forces her to do one thing and one thing only, perfectly dodge Sophie's whole combo 3 times. To help you, the game goes into slow motion to give you a huge dodge window. Unfortunately, that doesn't help Amy because this is when I realized The Witcher 3 has taught her some very bad habits. She played it right before this game as part of the Non-Gamer Wife series. She put about 6 or 7 hours into it, and in Witcher 3's combat, you can spam dodge freely with no stamina cost. So you can basically just hammer it all day long and be mostly invulnerable. Not so in E33. The dodge is on a relatively long cooldown, like in Elden Ring. So you must be precise and time it correctly or you'll get hit. This will be relevant momentarily. So as the battle starts, she says, uh-oh, I've forgotten all the things that it said earlier. Amy thinks that she needs to remember all 100 data points about battles, but really she just needs to dodge. The instruction is clear in the heading, and the dodge button is in the bottom left. And the second she finds that dodge button, Amy just mashes it for 10 minutes straight. Look at Gustav, see how he's just constantly darting back? That's why. The game is really trying to help Amy here as well by going slow motion when she's supposed to dodge, but she doesn't make the connection. Eventually, she gets lucky with her spams and dodges the first full combo, but thankfully she has to do it 3 full times, so it's harder to accidentally progress. Amy's starting to get a little frustrated, asking why it's taking so long and commenting that she knows she's doing poorly. By the time we reach the third and final combo, I can see Amy's starting to spam a little less, taking the hint she needs to be a bit more precise and intentional. After completing the trial, I can tell she doesn't fully understand the mechanic yet, but was definitely getting closer. Then when talking to Nicholas afterwards, I noticed she had started to skip some of his dialogue before he'd actually finished speaking the line. When I asked her why, she said it's because I already read it and it wasn't getting me closer to the mystery, so it was boring. RIP Nicholas, just be more interesting, lol. Continuing through the town, Amy comes across some orphans and the heaviness of this world is starting to get to her.
Wow. More children for a crowded orphanage. That's very sad. Oh my goodness, what even is this?
Then finally, Amy reaches the harbour and it's time for the best climax to any prologue I've ever played.
Gentlemen, that was supposed to be between us, yeah?
That's sweet. Why haven't they seen each other for 4 years?
They broke up.
But then why are they seeing each other now? She's got a sweet face. Very emotional. Oh, it's warm. Warm colours. No. Oh, this is so sad. What? I don't like sad things. You know that. Why would you let me watch this? Why does the game start with this?
I'm here.
They didn't talk to each other for like 4 years. And now they're reconnecting here.
That's it, honey.
Oh my goodness, that is so sad. Oh my goodness.
Even watching back the footage, that cutscene still got me. Most games fail to match that level of emotion at the peak of their entire story, let alone the intro. That was the moment I knew Expedition 33 was special. Amy ends day one by having her immersion shattered one last time. Gustav is drinking with some fellow expeditioners. Amy notices that despite there being wine in the cup, he is throwing it around without a care in the world. Several times he tips it almost upside down and yet the liquid doesn't spill. This is obviously a minor nitpick, but her spider sense is acutely attuned to things not making sense in games. I'm consistently surprised by what she notices. I watched this cutscene and never thought twice about the fluid dynamics of Gustav's beverage. The normie brain is a beautiful place, isn't it? So Amy had been emotionally rocked by her first encounter with the paintress, but tomorrow there was still so much more to learn, and this game's plot twists were only just getting started. It's day 2 and Amy's about to set sail for the continent. First, she has to check in with Mael and says to me, all right, I gotta go talk to, what's her name? Moavi. No, Mayeli. I said both of those were extremely accurate. They have another quick duel and Amy stumbles on the free aim mechanic. She shot Mael 9 times, doing, wait for it, 7 whole damage per shot. Amy said, what's going on? How can I do this? I don't remember this being a thing. The game hasn't taught her about shooting yet, so that makes sense. Then she said, this doesn't seem to be playing by the rules. I haven't even taken my turn. As gamers, we'd notice that each shot is costing valuable AP and that the gun does less damage than a regular attack. So although it doesn't take a full turn, it's not without trade-offs. Amy doesn't see any of that, so tries to keep shooting long after she spent all her AP, saying, why can't I do it anymore? I think I'm pressing the same button. I must have run out of bullets or something. Adorable normie moment. For the entire battle, Amy doesn't dodge a single attack or press a single QTE, so naturally she loses. She's gonna have her work cut out for her when she reaches a boss battle. Then Gustav's sister, Emma, gives a rousing speech and the expedition sets sail. Here's Amy's reaction to the next few cutscenes.
They're gonna leave. And then I'll find more about the mystery. I wanna know about the mystery. Oh, cutscenes, I like this. Oh, I like that. That's like a movie.
Lumiere fights with you.
Wow, it's so nice. It's so grand. It's like really cinematic and impactful and emotion filled. I just think it's nice. It's like it really ropes you in, you know. Expedition 33. They're doing it. What's clear, obscure?
I have no idea.
Did you not look into it?
No.
Oh, yes. Oh, look at all the shipwrecks. Oh, scary.
Which expedition are you from?
Whoa, that was brutal. Oh my goodness, wow. What is even happening? Oh. Whoa. Act 1. Gustavi. He's a bit bloody. Whoa, his eyeballs look really real. It's probably like, oh my goodness, what happened? It's pretty nice wherever he is. And here we are, Spring Meadows. I want treats.
Soon Emmy finds her first Nevron, and this is where the game tells her about free aim and weak spots. She nails that Lanceolea right in the clitoris, but then gets confused about the name of action points.
I got 3 XP.
3 what?
3 something P. Is it XP? AP? BP? CP?
Something.
PP? I got 3 PP points. I can't remember what I just said. No, it's just on the screen. Oh, I can't even do any of these because it takes all my PB points.
All that will be relevant soon. Then Amy gets her first non-tutorial dodge off and couldn't be more stoked.
Oh, you dodged it. Nice.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I did something cool. Yeah, nice.
That was actually so awesome.
I did it. Well, I tried to do it, but I can't get the timing anytime. I did dance with that girl for so long because I couldn't figure it out because my timing is so off, but I just fluked that.
Look, Amy needed a small win, okay? She's been really struggling with the combat so far, and seeing her get that excited despite knowing it was kind of a fluke was such a wholesome gamer moment.
I want to maybe try this one based on the amount of charges, 1 hit. How do I know what charges I have? Charges. Is that 2 of 10?
Oh, could be.
Is that what that is? So I can see. By dealing dodging damage and parrying. I get more, so maybe it's 2. Except I don't know how to dodge very well, so I don't know that I can build it up before I die. Tricky.
This was fascinating because despite the overcharged tooltip saying charges in blue text with a little blue icon, the right-hand side of the screen, where the charges actually are, isn't labeled charges and doesn't have blue text or a lightning icon. Remember, Amy's a sweet little virgin normie, so she needs help connecting those dots.
This was weak.
Did I get him? Yes. Kill him.
Killed him.
Woohoo! I did a dodge. Yeah. It only took me 7 minutes. 6 XP. It is XP. Did you not even know it's XP?
XP.
Yeah, why did I say XP? And you're like, what?
What's XP?
I was like, it's XP. And then I was like, maybe it's not, it's AP. BP, PP. And you just did not tell me which is correct, but it is XP.
To the people leaving comments saying, isn't Amy more of a casual gamer now, Jez? She doesn't know the difference between AP and XP. Would a casual gamer really get those wires crossed? Also, the second we're done recording gameplay for these videos, Amy has zero desire to play more games. That's why I still think it's fair to call her a non-gamer. Just after the battle, Amy spends some time trying to explore slightly off the main path. But this is where the genre of game has tricked her because everything she's played until now has been more or less open world. Destiny 2, Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, and Witcher 3. You're not really bumping into invisible walls much in those games because they're so open. Having one main linear path is completely foreign to Amy, and she doesn't understand why the game won't let her go where she wants. Eventually, she finds a path littered with dead bodies. She tells me that out of respect, she's trying to avoid stepping on them, but is struggling because there's so many and she finds precise movement quite difficult. Then we get a cutscene where Gustav thinks about killing himself in Minecraft, only to be interrupted by Lune, the hottest barefoot mage on feetfinder.com, and the next playable character, much to Amy's surprise.
Okay, she's got her own little thing going on.
Oh, I've got to choose for her too? That's a bad idea. I thought I had a friend, not Mimi. It's me and then me again.
They're both you.
No, that's bad combination.
Needless to say, Amy finds the stain mechanic immediately overwhelming, which is fair enough. It's a lot of buzzwords, followed by the elemental affinities pop-up, which is also a lot of buzzwords, followed by the slow debuff pop-up. And when I asked Amy if she knew what a debuff was, this is what she said.
It's like buff, and then you debuff, so it's like unbuffing the buff. And a buff is a big tough guy.
Yeah.
So it makes a big tough guy a little tough guy.
True.
That's my guess.
Obviously, she has no effing clue. I'm sure that won't be a problem at all in the future.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Nope. No, it doesn't. There's just words that I'm a bit unsure about, and the consuming versus not consuming, and there's so many elements, and I don't really understand the context of all of what these are or why she has these or what they mean, so it just feels like I'm trying to understand, but I'm just a bit lost. It's like trying to get a 5-year-old to do algebra.
Yeah.
They're like, why do I have to do algebra? What even is algebra? But it's like, but just do it. Just read the thing and just do the thing.
Kind of a banger analogy, I'm not gonna lie. Despite her confusion, Amy gets the kill on the portiere, and her reward is to be bombarded with another new mechanic. This time it's Pictos and Lumina, 2 essential concepts in E33. Thankfully, she does go into her menu and actually equips Dodger, which will be so helpful if she ever learns to dodge. Unfortunately, the game also uses this moment to run her through the entire menu, including character overview, weapon slot, Pictos slot, skills, Lumina slots, wardrobe, then all available Pictos, more about the Pictos slots, Pictos sorting options, and mastering Pictos / converting them to Luminas. Some of that was really important, but most of it goes over Amy's head. Can't wait to see her struggle with these mechanics in the future. Because yes, she had stumbled through today's combat while barely grasping the basics, but tomorrow, we'll face the consequences as the training wheels come off. It's time for her first boss battle. Amy starts day 3 by seeing that she has some attribute points to spend, but after trying for a while to understand what everything does, she eventually gets frustrated, telling me she doesn't know how important any of this stuff is, so doesn't really know what to do. As gamers, we would probably notice the recoat item that offers to reset our attributes, so we'd know any mistakes made allocating points can be easily undone later on. Amy spends them pretty much at random and moves on. She quickly runs into 2 Lanceliers, and after killing them is rewarded with her first new weapon, the Lance Ram. After checking Gustav's weapons in the menu, she's having trouble remembering which one she just found, and identifying which one is currently equipped. After some back and forth, she sees that one of the weapons has more power, so equips it, and then made quite an intriguing comment because as soon as she equips the new sword, she said, "Oh yeah, this is the new one because it looks like the enemies I just killed." Her attention to oddly specific details is amazing. After killing some more guys, Amy decides to backtrack to the nearest flag and rest as she'd run out of healing. On the way back, she comments that this game doesn't seem to have a map, which felt weird to her. What she didn't realize is that had she just gone slightly further forward, there would have been another flag to rest at. Instead, by doubling back, she learned the hard way that resting at a flag respawns all the minor enemies in the area. She was furious and blamed me for not warning her that would happen. Then out of sheer frustration, she tries sprinting around the Lancelier, which works actually. You can avoid a lot of the combat in this game by staying away from the enemies. Then while exploring the abandoned house, Amy finds an energy tint shard. This instantly gives her another energy tint forever, and it's this little blue bottle on the menu screen. The only problem is these little bottles aren't labeled, so Amy gets pretty confused here. What they should say is healing tint, energy tint, and revive tint for red, blue, and green respectively. Even just the word tint somewhere nearby would have been helpful. If you open the item screen in battle, they're labeled, for example, small energy tint, but where's the little blue bottle? Why not draw some kind of link between the menu bottles and the battle bottles? They're the same thing. I know it seems like a small detail, but normies really need help with stuff like this. To make matters worse, after finding the energy tint shard, Amy goes into the tint section of the menu, except the 2 things listed there aren't called tints. It's color of lumina and recoat, which apparently are actually tints. I had to look this up, but basically all the materials in this game are tints and show up here, even though most of them don't say tint anywhere. Bonkers labeling system. I completely understand Amy's confusion. Why not call this whole section of the menu like materials or something? Again, not a huge deal, more of a normie problem. Anyway, exiting the house, Amy purposefully avoids this expedition flag, which was weird. And when I asked her why later, she said because she knew she was at full health and didn't want to respawn any more enemies unnecessarily. What she didn't know is that you have to actually rest at the flag to do that. Also, she hadn't killed anyone in this area yet, so there was nothing to respawn. And grabbing the flag saves a checkpoint, so she was just making things harder for herself for no reason. After killing a couple of flying enemies, Amy said to me, "These battles are more like a card game where I get to think about my next move." And I like that. It's way less stressful than all those other games I played. Then after finding the blue tree, Amy misses the grapple point that would let her progress, so she gets stuck here for quite a while, mostly ramming her head into this dead end because she's convinced it's the way forward for some reason. I was hoping she'd try to fight the nearby chromatic big boy boss, but no dice. Eventually, she makes her way back to the blue tree and finally sees the grapple point. Here was her reaction.
Can I get across? Oh.
You found it, honey.
Why couldn't you just said that?
I can't help you.
Why? That's not going to, like, what? That's not the whole point. No, it's not. That's not going to do any damage. Just saying, just go there. I spent all that time trying to get around that guy down there.
Once again, her mistake was actually my fault. I apologize. At the next flag, Amy spends some more attribute points at random and then unlocks her first new skill. What she doesn't know is that you're also supposed to assign the skill, but because she hasn't filled all her skill slots yet, the game automatically assigns the skill for her. God, she's so lucky and she has no idea. A bit further on, after killing some little dinker enemies, Amy unlocks her first Lumina. That was the 4th battle with the Dodger Pictos equipped, so now that she's mastered it, it can be equipped on any character as a Lumina. The problem is, Amy doesn't understand Pictos versus Luminas yet, so all she says is, "But I've already learned that one. I have it on Gustav right now." She even goes into the menu to confirm it's the one she's thinking of. She asked me, "Why am I relearning something that I've already learned?" It's a great question that I wish I could answer, and she forges ahead without a second thought. While exploring, Amy forgets that Gustav is hurt and doesn't heal before accidentally triggering another battle. She tries her best, but ultimately wipes to the Volster's quick attack.
Ooh,
Dead.
you dodged him a few times though, and that's a tricky one to dodge.
Expedition fails. Just might I start again from the start? I'm not playing this game if I have to start from the start.
Yeah, you're right.
What? It said expedition failed.
The idea that she'd have to start the entire game again for wiping is completely unhinged. Unless this was a speed run, in which case, that's literally what they do. Then it's time for the first mandatory boss encounter. Evacue. Eevee from Pokemon? Ooh, I don't know how to say it. Anyway, apparently that word means bishop in French. And if this guy isn't shaped like a bishop, then I don't tase my nips for pleasure. In the opening moments of the battle, something unexpected happens.
Amazing dodge. Oh my god, you're insane, honey. That was crazy.
I don't know how I am doing that. That says that's a fluke every time.
You actually timed it perfect.
Considering Amy had never seen the attack before, that was huge. This game excels at giving you little pop-off moments like that. My dopamine was firing and I wasn't even playing. That's how satisfying this combat is. It's unbelievable. So Amy spends the next 20 minutes slowly chipping away at the boss's health. She's also gradually learning the attack patterns, sometimes getting hit and other times doing pretty good dodges. Early on, she uses Ice Lance with Lune and notices it says weakness, so figures that's good. That's a nice discovery. Eventually, she gets him to about 40% health before wiping, which is a really solid first attempt. We had to end the session there as it was getting too late in the evening, but if Amy can't kill this boss tomorrow, I'm worried it will severely affect the rest of the playthrough. Little did I know, she was about to tell me exactly what she thought of this game and the people who made it. It's day 4 and Amy's locked in on Evike. At one point she notices Lune's weapon floating around but has no idea what it is.
What's the shiny thing over to the side with two glowy things?
Ah, the glowy thing. What is it?
What is it? Do I shoot it? Where is it? Is that next to him or is it next to us? Is it bad or is it good?
I can't tell you.
Oh my goodness, I can't see the depth perception. I can't even turn to see anything. Is it bad or good? Say it.
I can't say anything.
What if I shoot it? What is it? No, is that her? That's part of her.
Ah, what she got?
I don't know.
Once Amy gets the boss to about 25% HP, it enrages and gives itself a bunch of shields. Amy counts them all and says, okay, I see the 8 shields up top, but where are they on the boss? I don't see any shields. She thought the boss would be physically wearing the shield somewhere, and I love that so goddamn much. Then after taking heavy damage with Lune, Amy struggles to understand the nuance of her healing light skill. She said to me, earlier this move cost 0, but now it costs 3. Why all of a sudden can't I have it? Obviously she hasn't quite grasped the stains mechanic yet, and I don't blame her. It took me a while to slowly work it out myself. For this move, when you have 2 green stains, healing light costs 0 AP. The trick is that these white stains are actually a wild card that count for any color. So previously, Amy had 2 white stains, which were counting as green and giving her the skill for free. The game did explain the different stain colors and generating versus consuming, but that was all within 1 minute of using Lune. Amy didn't have context for all the gibberish that early, but since she's played with Lune for a bit, now would be a great time for the full stains explanation. I never understood why a game tells you all the things about a mechanic right at the start when it makes the least amount of sense to the player. Amy's pretty frustrated in the moment because she had a whole plan to heal Lune, and it feels like the game is tricking her unfairly. Despite this setback, she's able to get a huge 10 out of 10 overcharge off, which kills the boss. On her second attempt, mind you, and she was pretty stoked. As she loads into the continent for the first time, Amy waits a full 10 seconds before attempting to move. She said, "Oh, this is me now. I didn't realize. Why am I so far away?" Then a minute later saying, "Ooh, it's very pretty. This is actually a bit fun out here, and I like the bird's eye view." The game then tells Amy to head to camp, and Gustav has his little meltdown. F the mission, ooh woo, F the mission. Eventually the game says to leave camp, interact with the bonfire, which Amy does, but is confused by the options presented. None of them say exit camp, so thinking she's made a mistake, Amy closes the dialogue and explores the area some more, saying, "How do I leave the camp? I tried to leave it." Ultimately, after finding nothing else useful, she heads back to the fire and this time tries going to sleep. Obviously this works, and when she realizes, Amy said, "Oh, that's so weird. Why didn't it tell me that was the exit?" Gamers need immersion and normies need clarity, but sometimes you can't have both. Anyway, now it's time for the flying waters, and this is where Amy couldn't help but give me her thoughts on the game so far.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, look at that. Who thought up this game? It's really cool. I mean, the whole thing is very pretty and like creative and like magical. And like, it's like crazy because now underwater, or I'm starting to get nervous. I'm not sure why. It's just so interesting. It's just all like crazy cool. There's so much happening and it's immersive and colorful and pretty and...
This game looks so good, it short-circuited Amy's brain into saying pretty 50 times in a row. But let me tell you, she did not say more than half a sentence about the visuals of any other game she's played. So for Amy to go on a childlike, wonder-filled rant about E33 is crazy. God, this game is so good. And this is only like the third area she's seen. But after 3 areas, she was just like, God, this game's so creative. What even is this game? And who could even make something like this? I know people criticize Unreal Engine 5 games for all kind of looking the same, but whatever these developers did has got Amy harder than my iron rod on Blue Chew. Not a sponsor, but let's talk. Then Amy finds her first paint cage and the prompt says to find the 3 locks and shoot them. Except it doesn't show what the locks actually look like. So Amy spends the next few minutes trying to shoot the floating symbols on the cage, which are purely decorative. She does actually see all 3 nearby locks at various points without realizing. And when she had started searching nearby, even going so far as to say to me, look, there's another one up there. Not realizing that she'd actually found one of the 3 locks, but had confused it for another cage, so didn't even try to shoot it. After getting pretty frustrated by her lack of progress, she eventually gives up and moves on. In the next area, when a new Nevron species appears in the middle of the path, she tries shooting it about 100 times to no avail. I have to admit, I also tried shooting an enemy in the overworld at one point to see if I could damage it. When she finally accepted that shooting it wasn't helping, Amy just sprints straight past because avoiding combat is her #1 priority. In fact, she avoids every single enemy until reaching the next cutscene. This is where we enter the manor for the first time. And looking around the main living room area, she said to me, ooh, this is like a hotel lobby. It's so grand, and I can't believe some people are this rich. That made me giggle. Shout out to capitalism. You've done it again. Then we reunite with Mayel in the next cutscene. Amy's lapping it up, of course. But then the curator appears, and Mayel says this one specific line.
He's been helping me a lot. He reinforced all my pictos.
Wow. Is he an old one from a different one?
Oh, what?
Expeditioner from an old one. That's had his face smushed in. Oh, no, I'm her.
Look at you, I'm
Oh, there's 3 of us. Woo! Hello. Oh, she's on level 5. She's got 0 pictos. Great. But she said the other guy was reinforcing her pictos. Trick.
That's a trick. What pictos does she have?
Yeah, none. That was a trick.
First of all, pretty good guess on the curator's identity. And second of all, completely insane to notice Mayel doesn't actually have any pictos despite claiming otherwise. For some reason, Amy's superpower is noticing tiny continuity errors. I don't know how she does it. When the curator asks her to battle, Amy immediately says, no thanks, and tries to just exit the manor. But apparently it's compulsory, so she reluctantly agrees. After getting overwhelmed by Mayel's stance mechanic and winning the battle, it's time to meet Noko, everyone's favorite little broom.
Oh, what is this?
Stop that, you big hairy brush face.
Mustache man. Cute. That's so cute.
So Amy had killed her first boss and was gaining confidence by the hour. But tomorrow the difficulty will spike considerably and put her to the ultimate test. Because today was the warm-up, but tomorrow is the main event. It's day 5 and Amy's making her way through the flying waters without a care in the world.
That was terrifying. I didn't expect that. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, okay. That's a big guy. Can I run past him?
Upon reaching the flower field, it's time for Amy's second boss battle, and this guy does not F around. Right away, we have a problem because Goblu opens with a 3-hit jump attack. Amy starts with a dodge, but does it too early, so then thinks, oh, I must have to jump to avoid this attack. So tries jumping the following 2 hits, not realizing that a true jump attack will always have a big yellow symbol, which you can see down by the jump control in the corner. I totally get this because everything in me wants to jump to avoid the ground slam as well. That makes the most sense logically. To my surprise, when Go-Wo does the jump attack a second time, Amy uses dodge and evades 2 of the 3 hits. Let's hope she carries that lesson forward to any subsequent attempts foreshadowing. Understandably, Amy still gets hit by most of the attacks as she's still working out the timing. The fact that she's failing every single QTE is also really holding her back here. Not only is she doing the absolute minimum damage with every skill, but status moves like guard up are also less effective. Like usually, if you can hit 1 or 2 perfects with guard up while casting it, the shell buff will be applied to all 3 characters at once, which reduces damage taken. But since Amy is failing the QTEs, only 1 person is receiving the buff per cast. Attempt 2, Amy's completely forgotten how she evaded the jump attack and is back trying to jump it herself. Naturally, she eats the entire combo, so everyone is already at half health. Goblu jumps again, landing all 3 hits, leaving only Gustav remaining, and then goes down to the melee combo. She said to me, "I've just got no idea what he's doing, so I don't know when to do the things." That's fair enough. Attempt 3, she's still trying to jump the unjumpable opening attack, so once again starts the fight at only half health. Amy dodges one of the 2 melee hits, but again, Goblu jumps, and again, Amy gets hit all 3 times. Soon, one more melee hit puts Lune down. Amy is quiet at this point, but I can tell she's frustrated. To her credit, she's persevering without complaint, because the one thing Elden Ring taught her is that until you learn a boss's moves, you're in the trenches, and you're a stupid little baby. Attempt 4 is more of the same, except now Amy has stopped using skills altogether and is just spamming base attack. She knows it's pointless to do damage until she can figure this out, again wiping after 2 jump attacks from Goblu. Attempt 5 is mostly the same until the boss uses jump attack a 3rd time. For whatever reason, this time, Amy presses dodge instead of jump, and on the first hit of the combo, she gets a perfect dodge off. Yes, the boss still wipes her, but surely this is the breakthrough we've been waiting for. As attempt 6 starts, I'm holding my breath. Would she remember to press dodge instead of jump? And she's done it. That's a successful dodge. Now she just needs to work on the timing. At this point, I was screaming and pissing internally. My normie was learning. Goblu does a melee combo, and for the first time, Amy successfully avoids both hits. More progress. I take this moment to encourage her, saying that she's really improving and that I was impressed. Here was her reaction.
I know you're in there just encouraging me so I don't gouge my eyes out.
You died 100 million right out of me.
It's true. Doesn't make it any less frustrating, especially having to run and slowly skip this cutscene.
We do have a bit of gamer rage in the chat, and between you and me, that's extremely attractive. For attempt 7's opening, Amy gets hit by 2 out of the 3 jumps, but the following round, this happens.
Nice one, honey. You touched all 3. That was huge. That was perfect.
Yeah, till my fingers feel not connected to my brain.
You're learning.
I'm trying.
Perfectly dodging an entire combo for the first time is peak E33 gaming. My adrenaline, serotonin, and gluten intolerance were all exploding in that moment. You can hear how hard Amy is being on herself in that clip, barely acknowledging what a huge milestone that was. It's attempt 8, and I've got a good feeling about this one. I knew from my own playthrough that once you reach a certain level of proficiency with a boss, it's only a matter of time before you finally get the kill. Goblu jumps, and it's another triple dodge from Amy. He does a melee combo, another 2 dodges. He jumps again, 3 more perfects. Amy is beginning to believe. Lune uses Thunderfall for the first time, and for a super effective medium lightning damage attack, that took an abysmally low amount of health. With output that low, this might be more of a challenge than I thought. Amy chips away until Goblu summons the flowers again. She shoots them, but it's costing valuable AP that Amy needs for her big boy attacks. Gustav gets a 10 out of 10 overcharge off, but again, I'm concerned by how little damage it's doing. Missing all the QTEs is really slapping Amy in the tits, which is unacceptable, as only I can do that. Then Gustav gets another overcharge off, and this time it breaks Goblu. Another milestone for Amy, as she's never stunned an enemy before. Amy keeps hacking away at the boss. Occasionally she gets low, but is able to bring a character back up with Lune's healing light skill. For some reason, Amy tries Spark with Mael for the first time, which I was happy to see. The residual burn damage will be very helpful. But then disaster struck. Because Amy wanted to see how much damage the burn would do, she was distracted and looking at the health bar when Goblu started the jump combo. This messed up Amy's timing, and she got nailed by all 3 hits. Not good. Her entire party is now within kill range if she messes up again. Amy's able to get a heal off with both Lune and Gustav, which does ease some pressure, but Amy is stressed. The burn damage is working wonders though, and soon the boss is down to 25% health. This triggers its final moveset. The melee combo now does 4 instead of 2 hits. The boss now grows twice as many flowers, so Amy can no longer keep up with shooting them all, and every flower absorbed gives Goblu an extra shield. As soon as the boss does an extended melee combo, it catches Amy off guard and Lune dies. She wasn't ready for that. Then the boss does a completely new attack called Crush, where it front flips into the air and dive bombs the ground, slamming its fist. Unbelievably, Amy gets a perfect dodge with Gustav the first time she sees this. Amy's worried though, telling me she hasn't gotten a chance to practice dodging any of these new attacks. I tell her it's okay and that she can still do this. Amy revives Lune, but Goblu is coming in with another Giga Flip.
Oh my god, incredible dodge, honey.
I have no idea how I'm doing that.
That is so crazy. Okay, this has gotten intense, hasn't it?
I hate everything.
Alright.
because I've been doing this for 800 years and it's too much.
Okay, well, you're doing good.
His arm's 7 out of 10, that's cringe.
Amy's feeling the pressure. She's been fighting this boss for 45 minutes now and is clearly ready to be done. Goblu absorbs another 6 flowers, which means another 6 shields for Amy to deal with. Then she mistimes the dodge timing for a jump attack and Luna goes down. With no revived tints left, that means she's gone for good. Another overcharge from Gustav. The boss is down to 10% health. Amy uses Spark to reapply some burn damage. 5% health. A Giga Slam, but she perfectly dodges. Amy uses her last 3 AP with Mael to break the boss's shields, followed by a base attack. Goblu burns. Surely only 2% health left at this point. Another Giga Slam comes in. Amy perfectly dodges. She's literally never been hit by that move. A base attack from Gustav. 1% health on the boss.
I killed him.
You did it.
I killed him. Yes. I was...
34 minutes.
That's forever.
That's a big battle.
Yeah, because I'm slow and bad.
No, you did good.
That's crazy. I was a bit stressed towards the end because I was like, if I die, I don't want to do this 34 minutes all over again. Wasn't as stressed as other games where it's like action, 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 and then it starts to drain me and my hands fatigue and they get sore and then my fingers start doing all sorts of weird stuff. Because I had time and it was a bit more relaxed, it wasn't as stressful. So I didn't like try and smash my head through the TV. As about any other game, something that long, that frustrating, probably would have. That's why I hated Elden Ring.
Ooh, the criticism of Elden Ring at the end. Hate that she said that, but totally get it. But never say that again. After the boss battle, we see Mael have a little moment with the Nevron, and Amy said that getting a cutscene at the end of a fight feels like a nice reward. Back at camp, Mael has her nightmare, then her and Gustav have a heartfelt conversation by the cliff. Amy could not be more invested in these story beats. She's more dialed in on the cutscenes than she was for the boss battle, and I'm not even kidding. God, the story is so good. So Amy had conquered a legitimate boss, but the final few hours of her playthrough were about to change radically, and tomorrow she would experience Act 1's brutal and climactic end. Amy makes her way to the Gestural Village, and at this point in the playthrough, having proven herself against a tough boss, I suggest that she lower the difficulty from Expeditioner to Story. Let me explain why quickly. You see, I have a problem with these videos, because there's a direct conflict between my 2 main goals. On one hand, I want to make a good video for you, the viewer. Yes, hi, I see you. And for that, we need some kind of tension in the playthrough, because that's what makes a good story. See every movie ever. But on the other hand, I want Amy to love this game, and struggling for hours in combat makes her sad. Therefore, at this point, now that we've had a big epic battle, I think Amy's earned the right to simply enjoy herself for the remaining few hours of the playthrough. Now that the game's on story difficulty, I'll only be focusing on her reactions to the narrative, because there are some bombshells just around the corner. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to play you a supercut of all the best moments, including the emotional climax of Act 1. And if you smile even a single time, you better be subscribed to this channel or it's a hate crime, and you're going to jail.
How did you get here? What about you?
Well, I woke up next to a waterfall and
We can talk later.
no time to lose.
Nope, no deal.
Get out my way!
The password is get out of my way.
Very gestural-ish.
Get out of my way. That's the password. That's good.
Pretty fun.
Rico passwordito coranisu.
Shut the password as loud as you can. This game's fun. I love it.
What do you love about it?
I don't know, it's just not stressful. And it's actually fun, and I actually like combat. I hate combat in games, but this is fun.
I like the combat a bit more now that it's on easy.
I even liked it when it was not on easy. It's just because it doesn't have the stressful element. I don't like the stressful element, and it's because I've got slow reaction time and it freaks me out. The cutscenes are my favorite.
The esquier.
The esky.
This is your only warning.
Oh,
You're safe. Do you understand?
she's just a child. She's so young. Wow, that feels like a weird pop-up after that emotional moment. You win 4 battles. Get Illumina right here. Wow,
Wow, the mystery's unfolding.
it's exciting. I want to know it. Where is it? Last gestural. Oh, I lost it all. Cute. How sweet. Eski's nest. Oh, who's Eski?
Gustav. You're the loudest.
Really? Hey.
Don't be shy.
Get out of my way! Jeez, tu pochino paparino, sordito, gomiku hurapi.
That's excellent.
I'm sorry.
Don't need to be so rude. So great. Oh, it's a bright cave with shiny mush. These shiny shrooms. Wow, it's so interesting. It's so creative. Like everything's so beautiful. This is definitely the prettiest game that I've played so far. I really enjoy it. I understand why everyone loves it. Really well done.
Bonjour, mes amis. Flowey was stolen by my arch nemesis. One whose every step shakes the foundation of the world. The one known as François.
Let me guess. Francois is located deep in Nevron-infested territory.
Oh no, he's right next door. Over there. François is my neighbor.
Okay, well, I guess we could take a look.
Fantastic.
Beep, beep, beep. This is so funny. Francois.
Who dares enter my lair?
Are you Francois?
Esquier, stop sending hooligans over here! Stop being a meanie. They're nice humans.
This is so great.
Take it and never come back. François, you got smashed. Scram!
Wow. He's like a horsey, but he's a flying balloon. Wow. Oh my god, this is crazy. Oh, it's more. Yes. He's more of it. Oh, why is she so tiny?
Those who know not that they are not.
Interesting. I've gained nothing.
You gained no extra information.
Cringe. I learned nothing.
But it's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting. Hello, my friend. Boop, boop, boop. Beep, beep, beep. Wow. It's so dystopian. Oh, casinhas.
Esquier is that powerful?
But also lazy.
I'm having fun. Just the man. Oh no. I know that sound.
What about that one?
Oh no, oh no. Oh no, oh no. The suspense.
It's not about the rock. It's more about...
Doesn't die. No. No. No.
Run.
This is the worst. Every game, the nice person dies. What on earth? This is the worst. I was liking this game. No. Are you kidding? What on earth? Why am I now fighting him? Did I not get a battle break? It's 11 o'clock also. Oh my goodness. Okay. He's gonna kill me anyway, isn't he? This is bad. This is bad. What? Did I just kill him? Dead. Wow. Oh, Gustavi.
We'll go home together.
Is it her parents? It's her parents, isn't it?
It's been a while.
Oh,
She chose to come.
I'm confused. Who is she?
Go.
She's sad. I feel like I'm barely close to knowing what's going on. But I'm sad that Gustavi's gone. Why is Gustavi gone? We started the game with Gustavi, but Eski's here. Sweet marshmallow puff.
Tomorrow will still come.
That's sweet.
What's your name?
Berto. Well, he's not Gustavi, but he seems braver than Gustavi.
But he was so brave at the end.
He was very brave at the end. I'd miss Gustavi.
Oh my goodness.
Why do they think they could just replace Gustavi with some other guy? That's literally what they've done. It's too soon. As if it wasn't hard enough. They're like, let's just get rid of this main character that you love, that you started with, and let's just put some other rando guy that you don't know anything about. And apparently he's like patient zero, so love that.
Patient zero.
Because Gustavi's been here since the start, and I don't know this guy. Who is this guy? He thinks he can just come in here and he's like, look, I know your friend died, sorry I didn't save him, but I'm here now, so that's nice, right? I'm cool too.
You need another white guy?
As of the writing of this script, Expedition 33 is the first game Amy has ever asked to keep playing, even though the video no longer requires it. Destiny 2, Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, and Witcher 3 all missed where this masterpiece has hit. Maybe she will become a casual gamer after all. I guess I'll let you know in the next video. Also, this is kind of random, but if you want to help me work on the scripts for videos like this, I'm looking to hire a part-time scriptwriter. I can do it all myself, but I'm extremely slow and barely keeping up every month. I'm drowning, basically. So if you or someone you know has any experience writing scripts, check out the Google Doc in the description for more info. And now that you've seen this journey, you'll definitely want to watch Amy try Witcher 3, the game she played right before E33. That video is on screen now, and you won't believe some of the stuff she does.